Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It is your girl Lana Simone. So first of all, I wanted to welcome you guys in. I hope you are having an amazing day. So today we're going to be talking about the power of your tongue. And you know, this is really an important topic because oftentimes I don't think that people realize the power that we hold in our tongue. And it's actually a really big thing that I feel like if we don't take control over, it can take control over us. Because why? Sometimes we just start talking and we talk. And sometimes we talk so much that we don't even understand what we're saying or what we're doing or what we're causing with our tongue. You know, our tongue is a powerful thing because why? It really is like the thing that controls our mouth. Like we need our tongue really to be able to speak and to taste and to eat. Like our tongue is made up of so many, you know, different nerves and it's just a very intricate part of our mouth. And so it's an important thing that we need. But just, you know, to know that life and death can be in the power of the tongue. You know, our tongue is a very powerful thing. And oftentimes when we speak, we can either be speaking life or death. And I guess for an example particular, like let's say you have a situation to where, you know, it's not the best situation. Like you got a bad report, from a doctor, or you got a bad report from your job, and you know, it's really not the best thing. And so what happens when we come, you know, when we start talking about it to maybe like a family member or like a best friend, we start telling them what the doctor said. We start telling them what the job said, and you know, it really doesn't look good. And so what happens is sometimes we allow, because of what people say, we allow it to get into our minds and get into our thoughts. And subconsciously it does something to our brain to where now we're reacting and feeling those emotions that somebody spoke to you. And so what happens is now your brain receives that, and what's coming out your mouth is sometimes agreement with what was spoken, sometimes, you know, added on negativity to what was spoken. And it's like subconsciously, sometimes you don't even realize what's happening because it's just, you know, a thing that happens. And so, you know, today just remembering that we have to make sure that we're speaking life out of our mouth. You know, sometimes we are not going to get it right. But when we do realize that, you know, in situations that we get ourselves into, that our tongue has power, our mouth has power. And so we want to make sure that if something holds power, then that means it has the ability to make or break something. It has the ability to create a change. It has the ability to make an impact in some way because it's a powerful thing. And so in any situation or anything that you face, knowing that, yes, people may say one thing, but knowing that God says something else, and we have power in our tongue, we have power in our mouth to be able to change situations, to be able to change bad reports, to be able to change things in our life that may seem like impossible, or may seem like there's no hope, or it doesn't seem, you know, right. We have power in our tongue to be like, you know, if you got a bad report from the doctor, to say that, you know, I don't know how much longer you have to live, but it's not looking good. Okay, you can hear what they say, respect, honor, and listen, but you don't have to come into agreement with what they said. Because why? When you understand what God says, and it's like, okay, and the authority and power that He's given you with your mouth and with your tongue, then you realize that you can create a change and you don't have to agree with that. And so, you know, in most situations, like in any situations, we have power in our tongue. And so just in any situation you get yourself into, recognize that and know that you have the power to be able to shift situation in your life. You have the power to be able to make a change in your life. And also, and it's just a blessing to be able to have this, you know, this capability with your tongue, with your mouth. Because why? We don't realize our words are powerful. You know, one thing that can happen with our mouth is this is how powerful it can be. You know, you ever heard a rumor about somebody and, you know, somebody come and tell you like, you know, so-and-so, you know, is pregnant and they're not married and XYZ. And so what happens? Somebody just spoke something to you. A rumor, whether you don't know if it was true or not, because let's say, you know, this is like secondhand information. You're not getting it from the direct source. So, and you haven't seen the other person to verify if it's true or not. So what happens? You're now hearing something, and what just happened? The power of the tongue in that situation now shared something with somebody that can cause that person that it was shared with to now have a perception of the person who it was shared about in a negative or positive way. And so that's the power that our tongue can have. And so you share one thing to somebody, and now so the person you shared it with can now have a perception of a person, whether they verified it or not, you know. And so that's how powerful it can be. And so, you know, sometimes people can spread even rumors or lies or anything. I'm just giving this as an example. But it could be that, and a lot of times you don't even know like the impact it can make on somebody. Like some people really can destroy people's character. They can destroy people's life with their mouth and what they say out of their mouth, because it's that powerful. And I think oftentimes people don't realize that. Oftentimes we, you know, go around thinking it's cute to talk about people, or, you know, just anything. Like, it's so many things that we say with our mouth and do with our mouth. But that's just an example, because, you know, gossip is a big thing. And also, you know, just it's so many things I could go with. That's just one I just wanted to give because that's a big thing. But just seeing how powerful that is. Like, imagine, I feel like a lot of people have, you know, gone through situations to where maybe people have talked about them, or people have lied about them or said crazy things about them, and you knew it wasn't really who you were, or like anything that you did, but it was like a rumor went around or a gossip went around. But you see how powerful that is, how it spread, and now people can create images and pictures of somebody or something that may not even be correct. But we have to just remember that life and death is in the power of the tongue, and it's powerful. And especially, I feel like a big thing that happens now is bullying. And, you know, especially my generation, any generation, but especially mine, a lot of times people are getting bullied, and they're getting, you know, bullied, and a lot of people are committing suicide, young people. But we don't, and a lot of it has to do with our mouth and what we're saying and the power of the tongue. And so a lot of times people are spilling out and pouring out negativity out of their mouth. It is causing people to want to commit suicide. It's causing people to want to go into deep depression. It's causing people to want to hide and run away. Because why? People are dangerous with their mouth. People will cut you and leave you for dead with the things that they say out their mouth. But look, and so that's what I really wanted to get to, because it's so powerful. We need to be really more considerate and more concerned with our mouth, especially because it's a powerful thing. It has the power to make or break someone, whether you recognize it or not. And some people think it's cute, especially we got this cancel culture, because it's like, oh, I'm not really saying it out of my mouth, I'm just typing it. But it doesn't matter. Your words are powerful. The things you say to people, whether you are in front of the screen, behind the screen, regular person, famous person, anything that you can say can make or break somebody. So be concerned, because it's a big concern. Like, some people are just evil, and they kind of will say stuff to try to hurt people intentionally, but some people say stuff thinking it's cute and funny, and it's not, you know, the right thing to do. So I just want to encourage people to just make sure we know the power that our mouth and our mouth holds, and our words hold, everything that we do, our actions, because it not only impacts you, but it impacts the people around you that you are influencing, that you are talking, friends with, like in a relationship with, anything. Like anybody you're interacting with, it can affect them. It can make or break somebody. And so we just want to be more cautious. This is really just a reminder, because I see a lot of people, well, especially my generation, what has been happening is a lot of suicide has been happening, a lot of depression, anxiety, so much stuff. And one of the biggest things is nobody really has a censor anymore on things. There's no censors, there's no filters. People don't really care about people's feelings, and or people care too much about people's feelings, and then that's a whole nother topic. But just be more considerate. If you can just practice being kind, if you can practice being compassionate, if you can practice setting boundaries in a healthy way, if you can practice, first of all, loving yourself first, because a lot of times people hurt people because they're hurt themselves. And when you recognize that hurt people, you understand the dynamic of what has been happening in this world. Is there's a lot of hurt people who haven't dealt with their issues and hurt, that's now bleeding and pouring out onto other people, now creating more hurt people. So if people don't go and get healed, people don't go and get help, then it's just a constant cycle of people hurting people, and a lot of hurt people walking around, and a lot of tame things, and people just saying any and everything out their mouth. So the biggest thing that I encourage people to do, that I've done myself, is go get healing, like work on yourself, heal yourself, work on being a better version of yourself. So that way you don't have to feel like you have to bully people. You don't have to feel like you have to look down on people. You don't have to feel like you have to cut people down because maybe they're doing better than you. Maybe you're hurting inside and you just haven't addressed that. So it's like, because I feel this way, I want everybody else around me to feel this way. But that's a selfish move, because first of all, you're hurting people, but you're really hurting yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you don't deal with your issues, if you don't get help, and if you don't, find an outlet or find healing within yourself, you will run yourself into a rabbit hole of a life of being miserable, because there's nothing or no one that can help you until you help yourself. So this year and years to come, I just pray that people can focus on themselves, focus on their life, focus on just creating a better life for themselves, so that way they can positively impact the world. You don't have to be perfect, because nobody's perfect, but we can do better, because what's happening can be stopped if people, first of all, speak up about it and recognize what's happening and figure out solutions to stop these things from happening. So it's so much more that I could talk about this topic and suicide, and it's a really sensitive topic for most people, but it's just a big thing that needs to be addressed, because why? It's happening a lot, especially in my generation, and a lot of it comes from people speaking things and doing things, and nobody's really saying nothing about it, or just letting it pass, and they're like, oh, such and such passed away, and it's like, okay, why? What happened? Yes, people have mental health issues and all that stuff, but there's deeper roots and deeper issues that we have to dig deeper to figure out what's the real issue and what's the real root, so that we can make a change moving forward. So just be mindful today. It's up to you. I can only come on this channel that I have to inspire and help people to want to do better, but it's up to you to want to do better for yourself, and just do better for the world and the people that you surround yourself with. Because why? It's already enough negativity in the world, so it's just let's do something different and find solution, rather than constantly creating problems. It's already adding on to the millions of problems we have. We got 50 million problems. Let's start, we created those, so let's start creating 50 million solutions and see if that works. But anyway, you guys, I just wanted to say this today. I really pray that we can do better with just controlling our mouth and just controlling our emotions, and just be doing better overall, of treating people better, loving people more and really caring for them, for their well-being, rather than caring, you know, about just ourselves. Like, be compassionate, be kind, and I think that we'll really make a big impact on this world by doing that. So you guys, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.